Hello, welcome back to my channel, where today I'm dipping into the Wilderness palette. A friend on Instagram challenged me to do a lime green and orange eyeshadow look. I'm not totally sure how it's going to end up. I've actually done like an orange and green before, and so today's look I want to be very different from that. The last time I did it, I did more orange in the crease and then a green cut crease lid. This time I want to do something different, but incorporate those same colors, maybe a little bit more vibrant than before. So that is my goal for today's look, and if you'd like to see how I do it, then stick around. If you haven't been here before, my name is Rachel. I'm just a homeschooling stay-at-home mom who loves to play with colorful eyeshadow. So if you want to see tutorials and other similar content on your timeline, then you can like and subscribe, and you can find me on Instagram at Shimmers and Silver. Now let's get to it. First, I'm priming my eyes. This is the NYX primer in white. I like to use a white base because it makes any colors that I put on top of it really pop. I think I've decided to do a halo eye. I'm going to do a green halo eye, and I think I'll do then orange on the lower lash line. So first I'm going to dip into this dark green foresty shade. It's called Eucalyptus, with a small pencil brush. And I'm going to place that on my outer corner and my inner corner as well. Now I don't like my halo eyes to connect in the center. I like just color, and then the light spotlight in the center. So I'm not going to carry this color through my crease. But because it's going to be a monochromatic halo eye, I want to make sure that I get definition. So I'm going to use a lot of greens. With that same pencil brush, I'm now dipping into Leaf, which is the next green here, and I'm going to use that to blend out this dark green. What I'm doing is I'm placing it on top, on the very edge of the dark green, and I'll blend it outwards. With a detail crease brush from e.l.f., this is actually quite fluffy, and it's pinched. It's a really loose sort of brush. I'm going to use this to just to blend out these colors, like the edges of the colors. Do that. I'm going back into Eucalyptus, the dark green. I'm gonna add in some more right where I placed it before, just over top of that. And with the same brush, I'm now going to take Ivy right here. I'm going to dip into that very lightly and just place that in the outer corner. Not even covering all of the eucalyptus color, it's just the extreme outer corner. Alright, I'm color switching my brush, and I'm going to do the same thing except that last darkest green. I'm going to do it all on the inner corner, but the reason I'm color switching is because I don't want that dark green to be over here. So I'm dipping into the Eucalyptus green, placing that in my very inner corner. And I would say keep it in a pretty small area, because remember, we're going to take a lighter green and blend it out further. So that's going to take up more real estate. So I'm just putting that in the very inner corner. And then I'm dipping back into Leaf, that more limey matte green, and I'm gonna do the same thing, just blend out the darker green. And now I'm back into that detail crease brush, and I'm just blending these colors out. This is a very mossy sort of look, isn't it? So far. I know I said that I don't want my colors to connect in the center, and I don't. I don't want this dark green to carry through the crease line into the dark green over here. I want it to stay very light toned. However, the last time I did a halo eye, I kept the colors only to the outer corners, and there was not even a light hue of that color in the center area, and I felt like it looked a tiny bit disconnected. So with this very loose blending brush, I'm not dipping into the color down here. I'm just grabbing that fade and pulling it to the center. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. What it's going to do is it's going to create a very, very slight green hue in this area, so that when I place my center green shimmer down, it's not just, you know, stuck in the middle between two colors. There's a little bit of cohesion. And I really don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera. Honestly, I can't see it where I'm sitting in my kind of dim living room with not very good lighting around me, but I think that in good lighting, in daylight, I will be able to see this very slight transition. So I'm not carrying the color through and, you know, like capping off that color. I'm just helping transition into my skin with the very slightest of blending. Okay, the next step in the process is shimmer. This is going to be the halo or spotlight part of the eyeshadow look, but it's also going to be most of the eyeshadow look because the challenge was lime green and orange. So I'm going into the color lime. I'm dipping in with a flat C brush, and then I'm going to spray the brush. This color is going to start in the center of my lid, and then I'll work it out towards the edges. So I'm going to bring the shimmer all the way to where the dark greens end, and then later I'll take the matte and sort of go over that transition area. I find that with monochromatic halo eyes, sometimes I think they're a little bit boring because there's not always enough contrast, like dark and light. This one I think will have some contrast because lime is so distinct. Now I'm taking that original pencil brush and I think I'm gonna dip into the leaf color here. Not the red, I just got red on my finger. And I'm gonna use that to transition into the shimmery lime. So I'm just kind of placing it where the two colors meet. Now back to that soft blending brush. I'm just sort of merging everything together up here. On this look, I don't mind having a little bit of shimmer in my crease. In fact, I'm rather encouraging it. All right, now it's time for the lower lash line. I'm gonna do orange on the lower lash line, and if you're following along with this tutorial, you can absolutely 100% use this orange. And I think I probably will use this orange, but I wanted to find an orange that had a little bit more kick to it. So I grabbed the Smitten in Switzerland palette from BH Cosmetics because this shade, Matterhorn, is the kind of orange that I'm looking for. Again, this was a challenge to do a lime green and orange, so I don't want to play it safe. So first I'm going to take Matterhorn on a small blending brush, and I'm dipping in pretty heavy. And I'm going to run this on my entire lower lash line. Now I'm going to take a flat angled brush and I will dip into the shade in the Wilderness palette called Sunrise. To be fair, the difference, if you compare them next to each other, the difference between Sunrise and Matterhorn is not huge, but I don't know if you can tell on the camera, they definitely have different undertones. Sunrise is more of a yellowy, neutral brown undertone, and Matterhorn is a lot brighter. On the eye itself, combined with these dark foresty greens, I'm not sure that there's a huge difference. But I wanted to do Matterhorn anyway. It's funny because if you watch my 2021 declutter videos, you'll see that Smitten in Switzerland is actually a palette which I decided to pass along, but I pulled it out just for that orange. That orange is the biggest reason that I wanted the palette, and I'm getting Cat's Breath from Udensai, which has some really great oranges, so I'm gonna pass that along. Anyway, I digress. Sunrise in the Wilderness palette. Again, going in pretty heavy, and I'm gonna put this on my outer corner lower lash line. And the reason I chose an angled brush like this is because I'm going to carve along that green, like the green cat eye wing, and I wanted a precise brush to do so. You can see that this color definitely adds some more depth. It's not the same as the Smitten in Switzerland color Matterhorn. It's definitely a deeper orange. It adds a lot more warmth to the eye look and more depth. I'm liking this color so much, I think I am gonna bring it in further. So working in from the outer corner, I'm just dragging it along. I guess guess I'll go about halfway. I'm actually really glad that I did this because it's confirmed for me that I don't want to keep Smitten in Switzerland. I think it meets the challenge. Almost done. Believe me, if I had an orange eyeliner, I would definitely use it, but I don't, so I'm grabbing 2 Can Do It from ColourPop, which is a beautiful, vibrant marigold sort of color. I love this eyeliner. And I'm putting that on my whole lower lash line, or lower waterline. I do have an idea though. I think what I'm going to do is after this color is in my waterline, I'm going to take a brush, dip it into that orange shade from Wilderness, the sunrise shade, and see if I can kind of tap it onto my waterline without blinding myself. I don't know if I should do that or not. I'm gonna try. I'm taking a very small pencil brush, dipping into Sunrise, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it like at the very, very base of my lashes and kind of onto my waterline. And try to bring some of that orange into the marigold color. I'm hoping that the eyeliner will kind of act as a sticky base and hold on to this powder a little bit, at least for a little while. So much fun, so much fun. I do love a challenge, this is lovely. I'm almost done. I'm gonna take a small pencil brush and dip into the shade Ray up here. This is, it's a very light shimmer, but it has a green shift. So I'm gonna dip into the shade and then spray my brush. I'm gonna use it as my inner corner highlight. That is such a fantastic shadow. And finally, I'm going to dip into that same shade with my finger, and I'm just going to place it on the very, very apex of my eye. Right here. It's probably not even noticeable, but what it's doing is it's adding an extra layer of brightness to the very center so that when I move my eye around, the light catches that part all the time. All right, that's pretty much the finished eye look. I'm going to add some black eyeliner up top. I'll probably do a wing. I'll probably do a wing to echo the green line and leave the orange alone, and some mascara, and then I'll be back. Okay, here's the finished look. As you can see, I did take my black eyeliner, I lined my upper lashes, and then I did a relatively long wing following the green eyeshadow. So I think it's pretty fun and neat. And I think, again, I was challenged to do a lime green and orange look. There's not a ton of orange in here, but I think there's, you know, enough that I have met the challenge. I had a lot of fun creating this. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Let me know if you followed the tutorial, and you can tag me on social media at Shimmers and Silver. And until we meet again, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.